The Galactic Sovereignty Council chamber hummed with the quiet arrogance of 1,000 civilizations who had never once feared anything from the third rock orbiting a dim yellow star. Ambassador Vorkai of the hegemony floated his bioluminescent form above the central platform, his translated voice dripping with amusement. "The humans have filed another protest," he announced. Laughter, in 17 different biological frequencies, rippled across the chamber. Delegate Prussian of the Talhari Empire clicked his mandibles together. "They have been filing protests for 60 of their years. Words. Always words. No fleet. No weapon signatures. No orbital defenses." He paused for effect. "Nothing." Admiral Thesk of the Vreth Dominion pulled up the human sector on the holographic display. Earth sat there, blue, quiet, utterly exposed. The humans had never once launched a warship into recognized galactic space. No weapons platforms. No battle cruisers registered with the Sovereignty Fleet Registry. Just commercial transports, science vessels, and diplomatic shuttles. "They are prey," Thesk said simply. "And prey does not deserve a seat at this table." The vote was unanimous. Earth's mining rights across the Kepler belt, resources that humanity had spent 40 years developing, would be transferred to the Vreth Dominion by the next solar cycle. Nobody expected humanity to do anything about it. They were wrong. Admiral James Ironwall Reeves stood at the floor-to-ceiling viewport of USS Eternal Resolve, a ship that, officially, did not exist. He read the decoded transmission from Earth Command twice. Then he set it down and allowed himself a slow, satisfied smile. Authorization confirmed. Break silence. All fleets, move. Reeves had waited 23 years for those words. "Commander Walsh," he said calmly, turning from the viewport. Lieutenant Commander Diana Walsh snapped to attention. "Sir." "Wake up the fleet." Walsh's fingers moved across her console. Deep in the darkness of 17 hidden construction zones, buried inside asteroid fields, tucked behind gas giants, shielded beneath electromagnetic dead zones across 4 star systems, something enormous began to power on. Lights. Engines. Weapon systems running diagnostics for the first time since installation. One by one, across the void, they woke up. The first sign the Galactic Sovereignty Council received was a communications blackout. Every relay station between the Kepler belt and Earth went dark simultaneously. Not destroyed, blocked. Someone had deployed signal suppression technology so advanced that the Sovereignty's top engineers didn't even have a classification for it yet. Then came the mass shadow readings. Admiral Thesk was in the middle of dispatching his mining fleet when every long-range sensor array his Dominion possessed screamed a single, impossible alert. Unregistered fleet detected. Bearing, Kepler belt. Size, unknown. Unknown. Thesk snarled at his sensor officer. "Give me a number." The officer, a veteran of 40 campaigns who had never once visibly shaken, was shaking. "Sir, the sensors, they can't count them all." Thesk pushed the officer aside and read the display himself. The number made his blood cool. They came out of the dark in a wall. Not a line. Not a formation. A wall of gray steel that stretched across the sensor display like a continental shelf moving through space. 240 Dreadnought-class warships, each one 3 kilometers long, plated in compressed iron alloy harvested from Earth's own asteroid belt, armed with rail cannons capable of accelerating tungsten rods to a fraction of light speed. Behind them, 600 destroyer escorts. Behind those, carriers. Assault platforms. Electronic warfare vessels so sophisticated they were already dismantling the Vreth Dominion's targeting systems from 40,000 kilometers away. At the head of the formation, USS Eternal Resolve led the advance with every running light blazing. Admiral Reeves opened a channel to every frequency the Galactic Sovereignty Council monitored. "This is Admiral James Reeves of the United Earth Defense Command." His voice was quiet. Professionally calm. The voice of a man who had rehearsed this moment in his head for over 2 decades. You voted to take what belongs to humanity. We'd like to discuss that decision. He paused one beat. We've cleared our schedule. In the council chamber, nobody laughed. Ambassador Vorkai stared at the feed for a long time. 240 dreadnoughts. Built in secret. Hidden in plain darkness. Humanity had been silent for 60 years not because they were weak, but because they were building. Delegate Prussian spoke first, his mandibles completely still. They were never prey, he said quietly. Admiral Thesk pulled up the recall order for his mining fleet without another word. Earth's mining rights were returned within the hour. And the galaxy, for the very first time, went quiet when humans entered the room.